situation where his past has now been dredged up, and it was revealed that he was very publicly a fan of some disgusting art that's really just a loophole so that adults can enjoy. Chris was such a big fan of this style of art, in fact, that back in the day he bought a print from this guy named Shadman, who was infamous for creating this stuff, and he went out and hung this up in his living room for everyone to see. Above that, he had some eerily similar accusations as Dr. Disrespected only a few weeks ago regarding interactions with one of his biggest fans who at the time was 13 years old. Well, now, like what often happens when someone gets put in a situation like this, more people have come forward with their stories regarding stuff. And Chris was such a big fan of this, and it was revealed that he was that back in the day he bought a print from this guy named Shadman, who was infamous for creating this stuff, and he went out and hung this up in his living room for everyone to see. Above that, he had some eerily similar accusations as Dr. Disrespected only a few weeks ago regarding interactions with one of his biggest fans who at the time was 13 years old.
Not this shit. Hold on.
The dominoes started falling, and now everyone has been waiting. So just yesterday, the dominoes started falling, and now everyone has been waiting on the Chris Tyson situation.
I ain't lie, I used to watch some, but then it's like I ain't free to fuck with all the. It was some weird shit on there.
Art that's really just a loophole so that adults can enjoy. Chris was such a big fan of this style of art, in fact, that back in the day he bought a print from this guy named Shadman, who was infamous for creating this stuff, and he went out and hung this up in his living room for everyone to see. Above that, he had some eerily similar accusations as Dr. Disrespected only a few weeks ago regarding interactions with one of his biggest fans who at the time was 13 years old. Well, now, like what often happens when someone gets put in a situation like this, more people have come forward with their stories regarding Chris, old videos have resurfaced, and more messages have come to light. And I'm going to begin to all of now, like what often happens when someone gets put in a situation like this. More people have come forward with their stories regarding Chris, old videos have resurfaced, and more messages have come to light. And I'm going to begin to all of that and more in today's video. First, I did want to talk about some of the tweets and statements that Lava continued to make. So it seems like he's going to be holding true to his original statement that he was not a victim and that he never got inappropriate with Chris. I will say I have seen this guy catching quite a bit of flack online, and I absolutely do not support
13.
that. The thing is, guys, when it comes to a potential victim like this guy could possibly be, it's actually very common for them to come out and to defend their potential. You have to remember, this guy was a huge super fan of Mr. Beast and Chris. He probably held them in a very high regard. So the mere idea of losing that relationship and everything coming crashing down around him has probably been very hard for this person, Lava. I'm not saying that anything concrete happened between them. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if this guy, who's still only like 20 years old, is very scared right now. Now, this to me is where things start to get very interesting, because Jimmy, aka Mr. Beast, begins to be involved. So there used to be this guy named Jake Franklin, aka Jake the Viking, who would often appear in Mr. Beast's video. Apparently they were pretty good friends. But around 4 years ago, it seemed like he was just cut off completely. They stopped asking him to be
13, bro, that's a kid.
And eventually he was left to kind of just do his own thing.
That's a
well, in
kid,
the midst of all the drama yesterday, he came out with some tweets. I know the Lava GS they are mentioning in the video, this ain't good for Beast.
13, my nigga, that's a kid.
Says, Chris should tell everyone how old the girl was he was snapping that sent him his first ever pair of Gucci slides. And I understand why he's coming out.
Is my stream on, fool? My stream on. Yeah. Well, hold on, how I sound?
My stream on, fool.
Yeah. Hold on, how I sound?
Chris should tell everyone how old the girl was he was snapping that sent him his first ever pair of Gucci slides. And I understand why he's coming out with these tweets now that all of this is unfolding, but like, dude, if you knew some sick shit was going on in the background, especially regarding people who are underage, why didn't you speak up about this before? And in the most cryptic tweet of them all that he would send out yesterday, he would say, Jimmy knew, obviously alluding to the idea that Jimmy has possibly known about this behavior for a very long time. I mean, with all this now coming to light with some of the messages I'm about to show you guys in a second, I'm going to change my stance and say that Mr. Beast has has to put out some sort of statement about this situation. And here's a little excerpt
I remember
from this
being
video
13, bro.
posted 4 years ago, where Jake talks about disbanding from the Mr. Beast
14,
team.
15,
Probably, if you're a Mr. Beast fan,
16.
you probably have noticed I have not been in the videos.
He was 20.
In fact, the last video I was in was hide and seek. The first one. Second, hide and seek.
I think about how it was even at 19.
Some date. And then after that, I was no longer asked to be in any videos. I was still on payroll.
I was still kind of an idiot, but I was grown. I was an idiot.
This is cool. I get to sit at home and get paid, but at the same time, you know what's actually going on. And everyone I talked to never really gave me any answers.
It was 20.
Super recently, when finally I was able to meet down a couple
For the
people,
13-year-old.
put everything out on the table, and it came down to
13,
but
bro.
my piece no longer fit.
13.
That's the best way to put it.
So he goes on in this video to actually be pretty respectful towards Mr. Beast. He was thankful for the opportunity. And at least here, which this is like 4 years ago, he says he feels no ill will towards him or anyone on the team. But now that more is now coming to light, we see that that might not be true. Keemstar would also tweet out yesterday, Chris Tyson supported the cartoon P artist Shadman that drew my daughter at 8 years old in a full manner. This is a known fact. Probably me and Chris Tyson even know
8-year-old daughter in a sexual manner. I was saying that Shad-based nigga. It was a lot of weird shit on there. I didn't look at the weird shit. I mean, porn weird in general. But not that kind of weird.
Running back with the football. Defense makes the tackle on the ball carrier. The Volunteers hustle to the line to run the hurry up.
I ain't talking to the coach.
Back to throw. It's Ayamaleva.
Oh shit, so I can go out.
Get home with the sack.
Nothing is more gratifying for a defense.
20 and 13.
I actually did go back and research this a little bit myself, where I found an old live stream from Shadman being confronted about drawing these pictures of Keemstar's daughter. And even at that time, he acknowledged how much of a disgusting scumbag he truly is.
To be honest, but yeah, it's pretty weird. Let's all agree, and I think you're kind of a weird guy.
I totally am. That's my thing.
Well, it was an entertaining game because we
All I'm
enjoyed
saying is there's a
calling
reason
it.
that freaks like
He's
that
like
hide their face.
okay with
And
it.
the fact that that information was
Well,
very
sometimes you're
public
gonna
back in the
suffer
day,
losses like
8
this,
years
you're just
ago,
gonna have to
before
pick
he
up your
ever
head and move on.
purchased that
It's
art,
the coach's
kind of
job
just
to
tells
try to
me
get
how much
this
of a
team ready
degenerate
to
he
play
had
the
to
next
be
time they
to
go
still
out.
be supporting
And that
someone
is
like
gonna wrap it
Shadman.
up. We
They
enjoyed
even dug
this
up
one
his
here.
old Reddit, which he also had exposed himself via some sort of tweet a couple months back. And they say the joke is that Shadman makes corn out of anything. This right here is apparently Chris's old account. And he says, it ain't corn unless it's got a... Yeah, I'll let you read that. And he also continues on to say, ah yes, this will make a fine addition to my collection. And something tells me, guys, that he was not joking. And this is just stuff that Chris was out there posting publicly. Like, I'm gonna need that hard drive pulled pretty soon. And that's if the black SUVs haven't already shown up at the house. And I'm not talking about the FBI's, I'm talking about Mr. Beast's. Now here's where things potentially get even darker for Mr. Beast, as another alleged former employee came out to say this.
Fuck about that. Fuck. What about that kid, dude?
Publicly. Like, I'm gonna need that hard drive
The girl too.
back. And they say the joke is that Keemstar's daughter. And even at that time, he acknowledged
And then
how much
that
of a
shit.
disgusting scumbag he truly is.
To be honest, but yeah, it's pretty weird. Let's all.
And he also continues on to say,
That shit nasty,
ah, yes,
dude.
this will make a fine addition to my collection.
Wait, why?
And
I
something
just
tells me,
declined.
guys, that he was not joking. And this is just stuff that Chris was out there posting publicly. Like, I'm gonna need that hard drive pulled pretty soon. And that's if the black SUVs haven't already shown up at the house. And I'm not talking about the FBI's, I'm talking about Mr. Beast's. Now here's where things potentially get even darker for Mr. Beast, as another alleged former employee came out to say this.
Hold on, let me turn off the music. Outside the studio.
Nah, guys, the fact that that song and Drake's name has become like synonymous with these type of accusations is crazy. But let's get back to the video.
Video right now. There's a cornfield. I was playing that tomorrow.
know? Is there an FBI raid going on? What's happening? My name's Dawson. I worked at Mr. Beast from February to May of this year, 2024. Chris is the tip of the iceberg. And when Jake the Viking says, Mr. Beast knew, yeah, Mr. Beast knew.
Here we go, here we go.
I heard many times that Ava, Chris Tyson, is a major liability, but they can't get rid of her because she's already threatened legal action and she knows too much. And when all this information comes out about everything that she knew, everything other people know, I promise you on everything Mr. Beast has done. Amazon, if you can get your money back, get your money back.
So this guy right here who claims to be a former employee is now saying this is only the tip of the iceberg of the crazy things going on at Mr. Beast Studios. I mean, I gotta be honest with you guys, seeing the downfall of Mr. Beast...
What do you do to a nigga like that?
...insane story in YouTube history, and it would be really, really bad for the platform as a whole, and as someone like this is my job, I'm not thrilled to hear about that, but hey, if there's some sick shit going on, it's gotta come to light. Like, I thought this boy Mr. Beast was going to be running for president by the time I turned 40, but his whole operation could end up being taken down by one single person. Now, this is where more messages began to surface, apparently being shared by then 14-year-olds who was in a Snapchat conversation with Tyson back in 2019. And first, they're just kind of trying to show the proof that this was the legitimate Chris. They click on the profile there, go straight to his new Snapchat thing he's got going on. And so as you can see, they're having some sort of conversation via Snapchat, which wouldn't exactly be surprising to me, as a lot of strange people like to go onto Snapchat because they think, oh, the messages, they're not going to be there forever. And as you guys can see here, apparently Chris is once again calling this person dad, which he was also apparently doing to the Lava character we talked about yesterday. And honestly, within these messages, I don't really see anything necessarily inappropriate going on. I mean, I guess he was sending some peculiar
Nah, bro, this
emojis,
shit.
but it's still just weird to me. Like, why were you in contact on private messengers with several people who were not even close to being of age? Like, anytime that's even a thing, I already see that as a huge red flag, and y'all kind of know where there's smoke, there's usually fire. And as you guys can see, much like their Twitter page, when I go and try and click on Chris's Snapchat,
that shit's crazy, fool. It's insane.
Leading people to believe that he's trying to further cover up this evidence. I mean, wiping your socials clean, to me, is never the look of an innocent person. And here's to me where things start getting super dumb. Like, if the allegations I'm about to show you are true, oh, Chris is just beyond proof. Like, they shouldn't even return to the internet. Now, I will say, these type of videos can be fake, but you would have to be pretty good at digital graphics, just like I said with the Dr. Disrespect situation.
Hey, EDP did the same shit then.
Which I would completely understand, especially given what we've seen that guy Lava go through.
And now all them guys being outed on the videos.
Straight up ridiculed him.
Trying to meet up with 13 or 14-year-olds.
Chris Tyson was texting me back in 2020 when I was 14. I'm 18 now. I commented on one of his tweets. He saw it and messaged me. When I was young and I couldn't see what he was doing was and manipulating me, but looking back at it, I can see it now. And so once again, this anonymous source just kind of wanted to show proof that they were talking to the real Chris, apparently. And as you guys can see there, they scroll through the DMs.
14. Oh, it's Chris.
Profile that now has no tweets. I mean, I'm not saying you would have to be
4
like
years
some
ago.
sort of computer genius to do this, but to me, this does all look pretty legit. And so the message thread starts apparently in the middle of a
How old, Chris? 26, 25? $28. So it's 24 and 14. Damn.
Reese says nothing. How is that video turning out? Good. And then he shares a link to a Mr. Beast video. And as you guys can see it there, they scroll through. I can see it now. And so once again, see now, I commented on one of his tweets. He saw it and messaged me. When
2020 when he was 14. You said Chris Tyson 28. That means he was 24 and 25. 24 and 14.
I was young and I couldn't see what he was doing was and manipulating me, but looking back at it, I can see it now. And so once again, this anonymous source just kind of wanted to show proof that they were talking to the real Chris, apparently. And as you guys can see there, they scroll through the DMs, they click to his profile, and that is indeed Chris's profile that now has no tweets. I mean, I'm not saying you have to be like some sort of computer genius to do this, but to me, this does all look pretty legit. And so the message thread starts apparently in the middle of
So did they do some?
Reese says nothing. How does that video turning out? Good. And he shares a link to Mr. Beast's video. I opened a free bank, which let me check on my phone if like the dates line up. He claims this happened in 2020. God. The dates line up, everyone. 4 years ago.
They go to the ground.
Oh, man.
He's knocked down in the backfield.
Why?
He'll lose a
That's a bit of a shiver down my spine.
ball's headed quickly
Okay.
to the line.
So he says, I barely got screen time. I wish you could see me more. To which this person says, I wish I was in a video. And apparently Chris says,
They wrestle him down after he
soon though,
picks up
I could
kicks
introduce you to
inside the
everyone when you
20
get a
and
little
out of the
older.
18.
And the person says, yeah, that would be awesome. And at first when I read these alleged messages, I was thinking, well, there's still no proof that the person was like underage. And apparently Chris says, me too, it's too soon though. I could introduce you to everyone when you get a little
First
older.
part of the equation
And the person
complete
says, yeah,
with the
that would be
touchdown.
awesome.
Now
But
the
then Chris
two-point
allegedly
try
says,
to
your
want to
birthday is
make a
coming up,
deficit
isn't
just
it?
a field
Yeah,
goal.
December 2nd.
He'll pitch
You're
it.
turning...
He's in there for the
14.
two-point conversion, and now they're
What's
within
up, y'all?
a field
Mentors,
goal.
coaches, businessmen, businesswomen, entrepreneurs. We want to help you.
Yeah, December 2nd. You're turning...
Scoreboard
14.
operator got a workout
This person
in this one.
allegedly
Fun
says,
game for us to watch.
I don't know
but
where
they
the
can't come
party
up
would
with the
be
double.
at.
Yeah,
My
and it's a
mom
team game,
is still
right? The offense
deciding.
did their
Like,
job,
if we're
and
to
now
believe
defense
these
will have to
messages
find
are
a way
real, and
to
someone's
use it to
talking
make
about their
better
birthday
plays,
to
get
you, and you're a
stops,
grown man,
stop the
and they're
score
talking
so
about, oh, my mom is
especially
still
when
deciding where my
offense does that.
birthday is going to be
You
at.
see
Like,
a lot
it's
of
going to
games
be at
like this
Peter
in
Piper
college
Pizza.
football when
Like,
both
how many red
offenses
flags
just
would there need to be that
trading blows
you
back
might
and forth,
be
and it
doing
just comes
something
down to which
horribly wrong?
defense can
And this
get
is where
a
things get
stop,
crazy. He
and
says, what do
unfortunately
you
for the
want?
losing
I
team,
could
they
give
just
you
were not able
anything. And then this person
So
says,
that's
we could
gonna
play
do it for us.
Fortnite. I beat you last time. Meaning they've possibly had some sort of private conversation over games once again. For all you parents out there watching right now, please deeply monitor what your kid is doing on the game and who they're talking to. That is one of the main avenues that people who are interested in kids will use to talk to them and lure them in. Not saying that that happened here. I'm just saying wise up to all that shit. If you're not, because I'm sure most of you are very good parents. You don't want anything expensive for your birthday? I could spoil you. I don't know. It's fine, look at my snap. So what? The channels of communication just continue to overlap, if this is true. This person just says, okay, we've been here for a while now. I'm tired. Texting you is the
Welcome
only
to
thing keeping me
Knoxville, home of the Tennessee Volunteers, where the
When you
hymn of
leave,
choice
you can play
is
for
good old Rocky Top, and they hope that by
Not
the
the
end of
most
this one, it's
notorious
good
game.
on Rocky
Weirdo.
Top. Little
I
gets the
love
blood
you.
boiling. Quite
I
like
meant
a
I love
rivalry
you.
Wait,
game.
which one is this?
So what? The channels of communication just continue to overlap.
This is the 14 when he was 24.
This person just says, okay, we've been here for a while now. I'm tired. Texting you is the only thing keeping me okay.
Taking on the 18th ranked team in the land.
I got that. You got a test with a girl now. Yeah.
Not the most
But I shouldn't have said that.
Weirdo.
Guys, it's time to get it
I
going.
love you. I meant I love playing Mike. I'm telling you guys, if this shit is real,
Who's sending
this
that?
whole thing,
Who's
this
sending
whole-
that?
I love you.
Who's sending that?
God. When you leave, we could play Fort or Minecraft.
Who says I
Not
love
the
you?
most notorious game for weirdos.
Who said I
I
love
love
you?
you.
Chris or the other
I
nigga?
meant I love
I mean the kid.
playing Minecraft. I'm telling you guys, if this shit is real, this whole thing, this whole Mr. Beast operation is gonna have such a giant stain on it.
They'll ride
Just
the
right
running
now,
back
I'm
and
finding
leave it with
these
him.
Other things
He's
he
knocked
sends
down
out
in the
apparently
backfield.
via
He'll
this
lose a
Reddit
couple.
account where he says,
And you can
why
tell
the
that play
fuck would
went
you use your
nowhere.
VR headset for anything other than 3D and that same type of art? Gang, grape. God. I mean, I could see this much more easily being faked, but Jesus Christ. But you can still get Team
Was he on
Love.
some trolling shit, or was he for
always
real?
stay 14. Pokemon came out to
Was
say,
he on some
I don't
trolling
know all
shit,
the
or was he
details
for real?
regarding the Ava situation, but I want to make it
On
clear,
that- on that
it is
jokes, on that
inappropriate
shit.
For anything other than 3D
I don't
and
know
that
shit.
same type of
Fuck.
art.
Wait.
The quarter, and it's
Gang,
Florida on top.
great,
But Let's take a quick
Oh,
look
gang,
at the
gang,
national
gang,
rankings to see
damn.
how
I mean, I could see this
Damn,
much
bro,
change
was he trying to be funny? Was he being for real, for real?
But you can still get
Was he
teen
trying to be
love.
funny, fool?
14-year-olds always stay 14. Pokemon came out to say, I don't know all the details regarding the Ava situation, but I want to make it clear. Any inappropriate behavior towards minors is unacceptable, regardless of who you are. Well, thank you, Pokey, for the boldest statement of 2020. This also went viral yesterday with his old footage resurfaced. Chris Tyson, old YouTube channel found where he shared revenge
And it's not going to sit well
with his audience of Janet McCurdy from my car.
You're going to get hate. You're going to get social media is going to destroy you about losing to your rival. You got to put it past you. It is just one game. It's not that big of a deal. But listen, yeah.
Bro was my age, dude. Hey, bro was my age. She was my age.
There's going to be a lot of trash talking going on. Not just
Bro was my age, fool.
But the link's in the description if you want to see him.
Talk to a 14-year-old.
Look at somebody else's private business. But,
Well, I'm a year older than him, but
people might want to see
at that point.
It's there if you want it.
So this guy literally comes out to likely his mostly kid audience and says, yeah, like I know how much this revenge can really damage someone's life, how it can lead people to do terrible things to themselves. I don't endorse the spreading of these pictures, but hey, by the way, link in the description. And in the future, I really do want to have a greater conversation, as I kind of had before, about how wrong it is that, you know, viewing adult videos and adult images and the addiction to all that stuff and how it's become so normalized and how it's
And it's
making
honestly
so many
weird.
people pretty much sick in their head.
And it's honestly weird. Nah, this shit's weird. I've watched a lot of it. Wait, what did he say? He said, right? He said adult videos, right? This is
About how wrong it is that, you know, viewing adult videos and adult images.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, that shit is. I ain't gonna lie. It's weird. It's weird. It's really weird. It's fucked up. I'm a nigga to do it, but it's weird. Just being honest, it's just weird.
And the addiction to all that stuff and how it's become so normalized.
It's not
and how
good.
it's making so many people pretty much sick in their head. I
Like,
mean, I
yeah.
can't do anything but pretty much.
But it's like
pray
I'm
for
like
the
a
kids
main
today
nigga to
because
do
they're
to mess with shit.
exposed to so much
Not all
so
this
early
shit.
on in their life. I mean, I truly do believe that like the normalization of pretty much having that addiction has really damaged our society as a whole. Oh shit! Right as I'm making this video, I just went to check out their Twitter page 24 seconds ago. The statement has been released. Oh shit! Mr. Beast made the call. The black SUV showed up to Chris's crib. I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments. Nah, we're gonna need more than an apology. You gotta get up there on the stand, big dog. If it hurt or offended anyone, yeah, I think it was pretty fucked up what you were doing. Seeing my recent events, we've mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things Mr. Beast. He said, get away from my brand and social media to focus on my family and my mental health. I'm sorry, but this statement is not good enough for me. It shouldn't be good enough for anyone who's like a big fan of Mr. Beast. We need to see more than this. Mr. Beast needs to come out and say something, and this needs to be addressed on a deeper level. Like, this makes him look even more guilty to me. This makes it look like, yes, I was trying to scrub everything, and let me just like make this post real quick before everything gets really bad. What a crazy day. Nah, Mr. Beast, this is the last tweet, bro. You gotta say something. All I gotta say is, what a crazy 72 hours it has been. Also want to put the disclaimer out there. Everything that I've said in this video is technically all speculation. You shouldn't take any of it as a fact. But
He was
oh
doing
my
it to
God,
someone's
so
kid,
horrible. Why?
someone's son, or someone's daughter. Someone's daughter.
YouTuber. Why every person is like being exposed to you? It's crazy. Either way, y'all let me know what you guys think down below. I mean, what a bombshell video. But as you guys know, though, it's been your boy, the Tan Superman, and we're trying to clean up these virtual streets. One video at a time. And I'm out, y'all. Peace.
What's gonna happen for real, for real? Dude will like go to court. Did something actually happen? Like, look, no, something happened. But how far did it get? how deep does it get? Do you ever meet up with any of them? Do I have evidence of that? What do you do with a nigga like that? And then what they gonna say? He was 24. Someone said it was 20. That one little post saying like 4 years ago. This nigga's 28. That was 4 years ago. He was 20. Me 24. Texting a 14-year-old. Was that the same one? Was that the same one?
Chris should tell everyone how someone's talking about their birthday to you when you're a grown man, and they're talking about they pour them in. Not saying that happened here. I'm just saying wise up to all that shit, if you're not, because I'm sure. So recently, Mr. Beaton, and over time, the audience, including Nick Merckx, who has been very vocal about his opinion, about that recently came out and now went viral that shows old tweets from Chris back in the 2017 to 2018 range. This video immediately...
Before starting this video, I want everyone to understand two things. What in the world? The second thing is, I will not make up underage girls. Now, I think it's clear enough for that it's explicit and involves cartoon characters. It's focused on characters and plots depicting underage girls. Now, I think it's clear enough for anyone to understand what it means if a real person draws or likes drawings. The second thing is, I will not make up anything or accuse anyone. I will only show some disgusting and unbelievable things Chris has done, along with me. And now you're probably thinking, what in the world does Chris have to do with all this? To say the least, you're wrong and right at the same time. However, there's a very sketchy personality involved in the story, also known as Shadman. Shadman was a normal guy until he decided to attend an art university in Switzerland to pursue his passion.
And they'll finally get him down after
he was expelled when some of his artwork was discovered to be even considered a danger to society. But something more extreme was about to happen. He launched his own website, and that's when his talented artwork came to light. In 2011, he did a very disgusting and unexpected thing. He released part of his own mother. As expected, he didn't stop there. Someone would tweet on November 8th, 2016, asking Shadman to draw Keemstar's daughter.
He was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Shadman will respond by saying that if Trump wins the election, he will deliver it. And as we know, Trump wins, and as promised, Shadman will post drawings of her in an unusual way. As this wasn't enough, he'll later release a drawing of her giving head to Donald Trump. However, Shadman's vision was much worse than imagined. On January 24th, 2017, he posted a picture of Daphne Keene, referring to her as a real-life couple. Shockingly, just a few days later, he began posting drawings depicting her being severely molested. Even more disturbing that she was only 12 years old at the time.
Looking back
yeah,
on
this
it,
wasn't the first time Shadman has done something like this. Lieutenant Corbis is also one of them. But aside from all that, the real question arises, how are Ava and Shadman linked? Well, the answer to this is another drawing by Shadman. It depicts a young girl wearing a "Please be patient, I have autism" cap, pointing a gun at her mouth. She has a fidget spinner as an earring and a spade tattoo on her thigh that says BBC, which we all know what it means. On November 18, 2017, Ava responded to a tweet from Grande and Mr. Beast stating, "This is coming from a guy who owns a Shad-based drawing and has it as a centerpiece in his living room." Just some time later, they also posted the exact same drawing laid on the floor with the caption, "Bonus fidget spinners to throw some extra autism." Initially, it seems Chris was being sarcastic, because this tweet came after Shadman had drawn all those disgusting images. However, something messy was going on behind the scenes. In this Mr. Beast video, you'll notice a very familiar thing at the 9 minutes and 30 seconds.
It's that junk.
From what I believe, keeping illegal art in the bedroom isn't normal at all. The shocking thing is that Mr.
That's a
Beast and Chris
14-year-old girl drawn in a sexual manner.
Yet this is nothing in comparison to the next incidents.
Put shit on her to try to make it seem older.
Replied under a deleted Shadman post saying, "No Beast Boy trap, Shad, you've changed." Basically, Ava was asking Shadman to draw art of Beast Boy, as Beast Boy was shown at different ages in the show. We can't say anything for certain. but that doesn't mean the tweet wasn't strange. Though we definitely can't say the same about the next tweet. On January 17, 2018, a person tweeted saying, "Remember this growing up? Me too. Check it out at Chatbase," featuring a photo of the 4-year-old cartoon character Caillou with his mother. Obviously, we know Chatbase is a website with very disgusting content involving children and comic book characters, and the tweet clearly referenced that. But instead of opposing it, Chris joined in and replied, "Help, I need an adult." I don't think there's any need to explain how crazy this is. But what's even crazier is Ava's next tweet. They fell a dipper by 12-year-old siblings from a show called Gravity Falls. On July 14th, 2017, a user tweeted comics of these characters kissing. Ava replied, "They're twins, so at this point, it's just
that's crazy.
I mean, it's almost unbelievable that Ava Chris Tyson was tweeting this. This just reflects their personality and feelings.
He open with this shit too. The thing he's open with this shit.
Tyson's tweets will only become more shocking and unusual from now on. On June 21st, 2018, the user posted some scenes of a 14-year-old character named Violet in the movie Incredible. Ava replied saying, "The fact that Violet was 14 and Ava was a grown adult makes this even worse. The surprising part is that Ava wasn't just reacting to Shadman's work. They were friends who knew each other. April 16th, 2019, Ava will post a clip from their live stream where they accidentally visited Shadman's website. It's even weirder that they gave him a shout-out stating, "Shout out to April 16th, 2019, Ava will post a clip from their live stream where they accidentally visited Shadman's website. The surprising part is that Ava wasn't just reacting to Shadman's work. They were friends who knew each other, to say the least. On April 16th, 2019, Ava will post a clip."
Yep, cop.
Okay, not the surprise. Accidentally visit on April 16th, 2019. Ava will post a clip.
He watched that shit.
Live stream.
Yeah, he watched that shit.
Where they accidentally visited Chapman's website. What's even weirder that they gave him a shout.
Oh shit, hold on.
Stating, "Shout out to Shadbase for having safe for work drawings today. I accidentally put up his website on stream." However, if you still think this is a coincidence, the next incident will definitely change your mind. On January 25th, 2019, Shadman posted a picture of a character called Raptalia from The Rising of the Shield Hero. There are two versions of her in the show. In one, she's 17, and in the other, she's 10. Shadman posted a 10-year-old version stating, "What is this, and why do people keep sending me this?" Eva replied underneath saying, "Please, Shad, please." I believe everyone understands what this means, as Shadman is basically an illegal artist who draws this. Obviously, this is messed up, and things didn't get better. On January 24, 2020, the user named Adler replied to Ava with a photo of a book. The story behind this image is that there are two versions of the image, one with the girl clothed and the other without. And the post was liked by Ava. These were just the...
Hey, follow me on Twitter. They be posting the photo of Danny Phantom and that girl from the show.
Off play action on first down.
Those characters is 13, 14, 12.
And a good job
that had proofs were reported before he deleted everything.
After that last
one of the tweets, which wasn't clear or was out of context, said, "Nothing gets my dog cranky like that."
Right there. That was an awesome job.
As we know, the meaning is inappropriate. Let's just let it go. Now, some people may argue that these tweets are years old. I want to clarify again that I am not hating or accusing anyone. This is purely for educational purposes. It's important to understand that Ava was invited to the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, and everyone should be aware of this. The fact that Shadman wasn't just an artist,
From the
but
gun,
to
they'll
literal
try to
kids is even
impose their
worse.
will.
He was basically a predator.
Behind the line of
This
scrimmage, that'll be
situation
a
has
loss
led
of
to me
3.
thinking about one thing.
There's just no
What
way
might
to
have
go for
happened
the
between
runner on
Chris
that
and
lap.
Navy, as most of these tweets are from that period. We can't make assumptions, but who knows? This might be the reason. But yeah, we can only hope for the best and improvement. One important takeaway from this is to stay away on the internet too. It's not as safe as it looks.
Wait.
Before starting this video, I want everyone to
What did he really say about Chris though?
Okay, we gotta talk about Chris Tyson. Oh my god.
What was that video I
it all
was just
starts
on?
with this video titled, "This video will make you hate Chris Tyson." And not gonna lie, it was pretty successful. Making me hate Chris Tyson. Basically, it's exposed Chris for being an absolute A-grade, gold star, certified degenerate freak. I gotta say, this is one.
Before starting this video, it
What?
was old at the time.
Them tweets.
Just some. Remember? It depicts a young girl with autism. And worse than imagined. Its artwork
Oh, he was saying
discovered
some
to
wild
be
shit.
even considered a danger to society.
Stop showing that
He
shit.
released nearly molested.
What shit he was saying?
But that did saying, man post saying, "No Beast Boy trap, Shad, you've changed." Basically, Ava was asking Shadman to draw art of Beast Boy, as Beast Boy was shown at different ages in the show. We can't say anything for certain, but that doesn't mean the tweet wasn't
to the
straight.
final quarter, clutch plays,
Ava was a grown
guys
adult,
delivered,
makes
and
this
they get the
worse.
close win.
Yeah, Reese, big time
Ava
players
replied
make
saying,
plays in
"Low-key,
big games,
she's
and that's what happened in this circumstance.
Yeah, it was weird. I want to see the real shit
Okay,
though.
we gotta talk about Chris Tyson.
All this other shit that came up.
So it all starts with this video titled, "This video will make you hate Chris Tyson." And not gonna lie,
Hey, that shit weird, cool, not lying, but alright, let's see the real shit. Like the shit Jamar was talking about.
Right? But of course, this is still Shadman, right? How is Chris Tyson related to this? Well, we're getting to that.
How are Ava and Shadman linked? Well, the answer to this is another drawing by Shadman. It depicts a young.
So I think it's safe to say that things have gotten 10 times worse for Chris Tyson, as I have uncovered within the past few hours some really damning information regarding Chris Tyson and a then 13-year-old that Chris was allegedly talking to years ago when Chris was around 20 years old, an adult. Now before we get into what I have recently found, I just want to give a special shout out to the person who originally brought this to light, the person who had investigated all of this and provided all of the receipts, and also including all of the information that we went over yesterday, because apparently the same person who has put out the information on these new allegations was the same person who obtained these tweets. So props to them for all of this information. Now you guys might recall, if you watched all of yesterday's video, that at the end of the video we went over a pinned comment from a user who actually happens to be the same guy who has been covering this on his channel and who's brought today's information to light. And if you guys do remember, in that comment
Welcome to Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, USA, and home to the Commodores of Vanderbilt, who hope today they will hit all of the right notes.
My head hurts.
Prism went over how apparently he tried to get EDP 445 to talk about this essentially to bring more attention to it, and eventually after EDP 445 stopped cooperating with him, he decided to try Chris Chan. And personally, if you ask me, I don't really know if that was the best idea, because as you guys may know, Chris Chan and EDP 445 don't have the best reputations, nor are they really that credible. Now a little bit further in the comment, he talks about how apparently Chris Tyson allegedly messaged a 14-year-old and jokingly flirted and talked about sending nudes to him. Now, just based off of this part in the comment, I found that to be really odd, and I had never heard of apparently Chris Tyson messaging a 14-year-old, so I figured I would do a little bit of research, and it actually turns out that Prism here made around a month ago a 40-minute long video that we're going to be going over today, yesterday, and I have gone ahead and I have rewatched it, and all I'm going to tell you right now, before we get into it, is that the ages match up, and it looks really bad. Now, I can't say all this is true 100% or anything like that. It's all allegations. You know, take the things that you see here with a grain of salt. I know based off of what we went over yesterday, you might think that Chris Tyson is like a pedophile or a predator or something insane like that. In my opinion, I wouldn't really jump on that real quick, because we don't know if 100% Chris is a pedophile or a predator or whatever. We just know that Chris has done some really weird things in his past over on Twitter. So without further ado, let's get into it. So based off of Prism's video, he has decided to keep the alleged at the time 13-year-old's name private for the most part, and he refers to this person as BW. He uses their initials, and they also go by the screen name of Lava GS. Now essentially what happened and how it happened, according to Prism here, is Chris Tyson started a friendship with somebody who was 13 years old at the time when they were 20 years old. Now just for a little bit of context here, the then 13-year-old actually happens to be the same age as me and is currently, as of 2024, 20 years old. Just keep that in mind as we go forward.
Gets it out quickly. And he broke
Chris
one
Tyson
tackle on the way
reached
to
out
a
to this
solid
guy
pickup there.
When he was 13 years old. Except the problem with that is Chris Tyson started an online friendship with
That
this
was
guy
fun, and
when
what a
he was only
victory to
13
remember.
years old.
Fun for
Now,
them,
the problem
fun
with that
for
is
us, just
Chris
the back
Tyson
and
was
forth,
born in July
games that are so nip-and-tuck, and you know every play
Lava
matters
GS was
so much.
born
These
on
are the games that we love.
Yeah, every play matters, David, and that's
Problem
why
with
coaching
that
staffs
is
practice
there's a
overtime
7-year
scenarios
age gap.
and situations
So,
throughout the week.
when
It's
you
important
started
to drill these types of
socializing
scenarios.
with this guy
You
online,
never know what games
building
are
an
going to go to
online
OT, and when
connection,
they do, you love to be able to go out and execute with the game on the line.
That's going to do it for us from here for Jesse Palmer.
He was only 13 years old. He was in
another
middle school.
presentation
And
of
you were in college. You were 20 years old. So that's what I'm going to talk about is why is it that someone who is in college, who's like a sophomore or junior at that point, what are you doing making friends with a middle schooler?
So, yeah, I mean, so far with only that, it's already looking bad. Like, this is definitely not something that Chris should have been doing, and I'm not really too sure if he knew that, like, he shouldn't have been doing that in really any capacity at all, because at the least it's really fucking weird. But it really makes it worse when you factor in that artwork, that quote-unquote artwork that we went over yesterday in yesterday's video. And another thing that I think is really important here is that Chris Tyson at the time was bisexual. And it's like, once again, I mean, what are you doing being 20 years old, you know, interacting with people that young? It's like you don't have friends. Like, I mean, we all know that Chris had friends. I mean, for God's sake, you know, it's like he's been friends with Jimmy for how long? Since childhood? Like, it really can't be that hard to go out and find friends that are actually around your age group. Another thing that is mentioned too, besides the two things that we just went over, is that apparently Prism has also noted that they communicated one-on-one and unattended. And yeah, that's where this starts getting bad. Like, really bad. If you thought it was bad before, well, just think about bad, but times 10. Because Prism goes into detail about how apparently Chris made Prism a moderator, and also even worse than that, and I know this is going to be stereotypical, but yeah, also Prism goes into detail about how apparently Lava had Chris added on Snapchat. Like, I know some of you guys in the audience are thinking to yourselves, well, yeah, it looks like Chris is kind of cooked, but yeah. I got a weird snap from Chris, and then as you guys can see right here, there's a screenshot of the snap. Up in the left-hand top corner there, you can see from Christopher, and then there's a picture of Chris in front of the American flag, and there's text that Chris displayed, and the text says, "Coming for America," like C-U-M-M-I-N-G. And also, just keep in mind that Lava right here, if you do the math, with this being January 26, 2019, Lava right here would have been 15 years old. And as for how old Chris would be here, Chris would have been 22 and a half years old. So yeah, by just knowing that, like, why? Why in any context would you send something like that to somebody that you most likely know is 15 years old while you are 22 years old? Like, I have a feeling that people are going to argue, well, this is a joke or something by Chris. You know, Chris is a funny guy. He's the meme god. But this right here is not a joke that you make to somebody who is 7 years younger than you and to somebody who is a minor. Now, moving a little bit further in the video, Prism talks about how Chris and Lava met, and that was apparently because Lava won a challenge that Mr. Beast was doing, and Lava received a signed knife from Mr. Beast.
When he was 16, he was in a Mr. Beast video. He asked Jimmy, how hard do you want it? 68 million people have seen it. What I want to start out with is when this guy was really young, he won some sort of competition or was involved, and he DM'd Mr. Beast on Twitter. He got sent a knife signed by Mr. Beast. He was like 12 or something. And it was a karambit signed by Mr. Beast. It was a CSGO karambit. Sure, that seems to be the first interaction that I can tell.
So I guess it's one thing for Lava to win the challenge, and that's the reason why they get into contact with him, but like after that there shouldn't be any like connection. They, including Chris, should not have been trying to be friends with this kid or anything like that. But anyways, moving on. Now I'm not really trying to say that this specific screenshot right here is anything more than just weird, but after what we went over in my last video with the drawings and stuff, like it's really weird, let alone having a 14-year-old moderate your YouTube stream. I showed the screenshot a little bit earlier in the beginning of the video, but we're gonna analyze it now. Chris on March 26, 2018 put out a tweet and he said, "I really enjoy playing Fortnite. Would you guys wanna watch me stream?" And then he put up a poll, and then Lava responds and he says, "Please stream again," in all caps. Chris responds, "Thanks Dad, you wanna moderate it?" Like, yeah, I really shouldn't have to tell you why this is weird given the ages. Like, just why? Chris was how old during this? 2021, and he's calling a literal 14-year-old his dad. Like, I don't know, man, this shit's just weird. Now, it looks like we have some more tweets here that don't look too important, so I'm gonna skip past those. I'll show them on the screen anyway so you guys can see them. But then this is where the really questionable part comes in which Lava asked Chris on February 14th, 2018, "Chris, does she know about your hentai addiction?" Like, excuse me? Like, why does Lava know about this supposed hentai addiction that Chris has? Like, it's really odd that a 14-year-old knows that a 21-year-old has a hentai addiction, and these two happen to be friends. Like, why the hell would you tell somebody who's this age, or frankly a minor, weird sexual shit into things that you're into sexually? Like, this is highly questionable, and I don't know what Chris was doing here.
Reason to believe. Yes, reason to believe, and don't give the fans reason to get jacked.
And what is he? What are you saying here? So you post something that says, "Guys, we are so close to our goal. Oh my God, one more Patreon and I'm releasing my nuts." And of course,
here's the
some
handoff.
poorly made joke.
A 7-yard
I've seen these
pickup.
kinds of
It'll be
jokes
2nd
online
and 3.
before where it says,
And
"Oh,
the Rebels want to move
like
quickly."
I know myself.
People like to say prominence
it.
affiliation doesn't
You
matter.
know, this kind of joke.
But you get
This
the
is goal of
SEC
$3. I want to see
against
if
the
anyone's
Big
dumb enough to
Ten,
make money.
and there's no
But of course,
denying there's a little extra
you and this other guy in this
Definitely.
He's back.
This is the
best
part
two
I have a problem
conferences,
with.
the
This isn't a
biggest
group
conferences,
chat.
Palmer.
This
Everybody
is
talks
literally
about
just
these
him
being the
and this
power
other guy
brokers and
talking
deciding
to
the
that
future
he's
of
friends
college
with
football. So
online.
yes, it
He
matters.
says,
A lot of blue bloods in
Lava
both
says,
conferences,
"I'm
David,
your
you're right.
first
I think it's something
Patreon,
players are also
big
very
boy."
aware of, too, is having that
Now, keep in
conference
mind,
pride, wanting to
Chris
win this
Tyson,
game,
he would have
representing
been,
the rest of the
he
teams
was born
in
July
there.
1996, so he
And
would
there
have
were
been
no
22 years
creases
old
or
at the time,
crevices
or
to
around
run
that
through,
age.
and they shoved
You
him out
have
of
this guy who was
bounds.
born in November
So, guys, over the last
2003,
few years, there have been seismic changes to college football. Realignment and alignment. One of the biggest changes is transfer portal.
Yeah, and now
And,
guys that have
shows
the
that he
situation.
donated him some money. He donated like $1 or something. So it's not enough to meet the goal. And he says, but not $5. Pathetic. Just kidding. Kissy face.
Now, I don't think I should have to explain why this is bad, and they definitely really got the worst look, especially given the shit that we went over in the last video. And I know that this is off topic, I really hate to go off topic, but the amount of people who were in my comments in the last video justifying the lolly, or at least trying to, is absolutely insane. And I'm hoping that when this video comes out, because I'm currently making it, I really hope that this can help change your disgusting perspective on people like this and their weird things, because this is bad, and what we went over in the last video is disgusting in and of itself. Now, when it comes down to those tweets where apparently Lava was going to donate to Chris Tyson, I mean, you can obviously try to justify it with a joke, and I wouldn't necessarily say that this is the most damning thing ever, but when it's coupled with the fact that, you know, that previous shit came out that I talked about in my last video, and the other things that we're currently going over in this video, it's inappropriate behavior, it's weird, and I'm not calling Chris anything more than a huge weirdo who has had an inappropriate conversation with a minor. But like, overall, this is fucking bad.
Yeah, this is the part that I have a problem with, and I'm gonna say this, but if you know this guy is that young, and you've been talking to him one-on-one online,
Quickly complete.
socializing with him.
Not much working there. It'll be
What is this
second and
comment
9.
supposed to mean?
Went to the running game on first down. Now here they come again.
That he's donate $5.
They'll run play
So
action.
you can release your nudes or whatever.
And he can't escape. And down he goes.
Man, this defensive end.
Now, granted, you could say that this is a joke, whatever, this is road talk. But keep in mind,
He now has
this
2
is
sacks, and there's still a lot of football to play.
And this one will be stopped for no gains.
College talking to like someone that isn't even in high school yet, really. Or if he was in high school, he just joined it. Oh boy.
They're going to test that
what I'm seeing here is he says, wait till my Twitch revenue comes in. So,
as they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the fourth.
You're trying to give him enough money so he gets.
And as they get him to the ground, clock running,
really
time
weird,
will expire here in the third.
But this is one of your online friends, and this massive age difference. And of course, it continues. He says, check again, and he tags him. At least that must
They'll run it, trying to drain time off the clock. And he's able to shed one tackle, but still, just a very short game. The Rebels moving quickly to the line.
This is someone
I know exactly what I have to do here. Defensively, you've got to get the stop. So we're playing run. We're selling out the run.
Cannot be talking about the offense.
And we got 3 timeouts. Let's use it wisely.
Even if Chris happens to not have bad intentions here, Chris shouldn't have been talking to somebody this age like that, and that's the problem, at least as of right now. I don't think Chris is frequently on the Mr. Beast YouTube channel, and in Mr. Beast videos, where you guessed it, the primary audience is little kids. But I mean, even besides that, once again, he shouldn't have been talking to this person who happens to be underage, and he most likely knew
They'll
that.
run it out of the shotgun.
Bisexual.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on
Talking
that
to
one.
a guy
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's second and 11.
in college.
The defense, obviously, at this point is trailing. They need to get the football back. They're expecting run. They know the offense is going to try and bleed the clock, so you've got to be good at the point of attack. They were right there. They gave up nothing.
Let me just say it like this. It doesn't matter if,
And that was just an
if you're
exceptional
joking or
read
not.
and run.
Solicitation is solicitation. There should be zero discussion about anybody sending anyone who's 14 years old nudes of any kind. Okay? I don't know.
To the air on first down.
I'm not quite sure.
He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection.
Well, it could be a joke.
Well, I know it hasn't been
Solicitation. Solicitation.
Hasn't thrown a lot of TDs so far, but things aren't open.
Solicitation.
Like on that play right there, he's not putting his team in a bad spot.
He solicited to the 14-year-old.
Walk out of here with a double.
You know, there's no real reason to panic if you think about it when this panic.
And this is one of your friends with online, which, by the way, you shouldn't even be friends with a middle schooler to begin with because you're in college.
Now, the situation only seems to get worse and worse as we go further, because on January 14th, 2019, and there was this...
All right, so, again, so what brings you out here today?
Well, I was, coming...
Damn, they took the video down.
What better way to kick off the new year like looking backwards to the magical year of 2021? Let's take you back to the past to talk about a man who loved ass and cupcakes. I'm talking about EDP 445. For those that don't remember, EDP 445 was a massive...
How did EDP not go to jail? Or did he?
YouTuber who in early 2021 got caught by a group of predator hunters for trying to have sex with a child. He got Chris Hansen and then recorded at the scene of the crime where he defended himself by saying he wasn't actually there to fuck a child, he was just there for some cupcakes, and that kind of became his entire legacy. He's like the cupcake demon. Kind of like how the boogeyman was invented to scare kids into eating their vegetables. EDP is that cryptid, but for cupcakes. Like, hey fat shit and then dropped a picture of his shit in the toilet bowl to them. It was a nutty ride. And I can't even begin to tell you the entire lore. This is probably one of the wildest stories I've ever actually seen in real time on YouTube. This has had so many twists and turns. There's a fucking crazy chapter in this whole thing where EDP sent a picture of his poop in a toilet to the kid. He like said, I ate a greasy pizza and took a fat shit and then dropped a picture of his shit in the toilet bowl to them. I'm sure by now many of you have at least heard of the EDP 445 situation. It sounds like some kind of fucking Call of Duty Zombies Easter egg, but for those that don't know, EDP 445 uses all of that to get to the 29. And the Rebels racing to the line in the hurry up. And this week, he was accused of keeping up, proving your work on this stage in the ACC. With video evidence of him showing up to a meeting place where he believed he was meeting with a 13-year-old that was actually set up in very similar style to like a Chris Hansen investigation by a YouTuber, Predator Poachers. That name actually is shared by other people on Predators, but today this was done by one person.
Yeah, they really do, David. And I think this is one of those games where if you're the ACC team, your players in that locker room, you've had this game.
That's why I wanted to do this little intro here, because I want to make it clear that there's no heroes in this story. You can't root for the person behind the investigation of EDP. They did a good thing, but they're a shit person. The main guy behind Predator Poacher has had a lot come out about him recently, showing his prank calls to a BLM hotline where he just says the N-word. He said the N-word, hard R, multiple times. Believes he's like an edgy troll, but his trolling is just saying the N-word. Epic prank. And he's just not someone that I can really appreciate.
Not for no EDP shit, but I don't want to get famous. Cause even that nigga, I don't agree with it. But that was not the EDP shit. The nigga that's doing that shit said that.
Who, with all of this evidence coming forward, which is pretty damning, have put together this whole case against EDP 445. And today I watched it all on Twitch, streamed it with the community, so that way we could all be caught up on the internet lore together. I've heard it's really bad. So yeah, the general gist of it, EDP 445. A huge YouTuber, very popular YouTuber. I personally wasn't super familiar with his work. I'd always heard his name though. It stands for Eat the Pussy 445. So this came out a day ago, which was to hype this up. I think this is only reading text messages, and this is what they actually showed up. This is the only thing I've seen. This guy has a fucked up mouth. Like even on this channel, apparently some videos that are still up from streams where he'd call BLM and drop the N-word to them or something. Like he'd call organizations supporting BLM and just start dropping the N-word or some shit. Like this guy is not a good guy.
So everybody go subscribe right now. Go subscribe. Great vision. Uses all to get the 29. 9-yard pickup on the first down, and now they can take a shot on
this
second
video
and short.
took so long for them to put out is because he wanted to wait for it to get full monetization.
They've got it at the 37. It's first
so that's
and
why
10.
he kept hyping it up, and the reason why he kept pushing it back, because it wouldn't get full
and
ads.
He's brought down, but a flag is also down.
This guy's kind of a real piece of shit, if I'm being honest. Like he does.
I don't care about that shit.
In the worst possible way.
I don't care about that kind of shit, bro.
We're gonna have to keep going back and forth. This is gonna be like an MLA formatted fucking research paper here with citations. For these text messages, if I want to see them uncensored, do I have to go to this stream? So do I have to like cross-reference the uncensored versions with the stream here? I can't show a picture of literal shit on Twitch, but I need to confirm whether or not he sent a shit pic. That's very bold. Just ordered some pizza, about to fuck this shit up. Pizza sounds good. Hell yeah. I'm about to annihilate that shit.
He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set down.
He sent a picture of his shit.
From the red zone, looking for a space.
It's a full loaf.
Gets it out fast.
This man,
again, this is a running back that can hurt you running it between the tackles.
That is not a healthy shit. That's very runny.
Space. They like to throw it to him out on the
solid foundation of the stool. That is alarming, considering he just annihilated a pepperoni chicken pizza. He also sent his dick. Yeah, but that's not nearly as cool as
they'll open the second half with
EDP was
run.
breaking new
Man,
ground.
stay away from these kids, man. Stay away from these kids, bro. Stay away from the kids, bro. Stay away from these kids.
And then sent a picture of his toilet bowl with poopy in it. Yeah, I'd show the other video, but I'm worried of how many pictures of shit he might have sent.
Third down conversion.
That even honestly shouldn't even be hard. That's honestly not even hard.
Good, how are you? Good, just having lunch.
Just, I don't even say what you niggas
What are you
man.
doing? Just got done beating my shit. Now watching YouTube.
Getting to the first down marker.
Oh yeah, I just had some tacos. Also just beat the fuck out of my cock. What are you doing? Yeah, he sent a picture of his actual unedited shit. He didn't even put like a cute little
Fucked
emoji.
up pass. This fucked up pass. This nigga was 30 years old. That's on 2021. I got a headache for one for that.